want to tell you a story. A story on how I met my best friend.
Now, I know you just read the title, and some of you guys are probably going to be like, actually, I don't know if that's right. I don't know if scary, if analog horror scary. No, not sure about that. Well, let me tell you this, okay? Shut the fuck up, because I'm here to change your mind. I'm here to make you see things differently. Now, if you guys haven't heard of Dog Nightmares yet, or if you haven't watched any of the videos on their channel, I got a couple of tasks for you, a couple of side quests, if you will. First, go click the link down in the description below that's going to take you to the Piggy Soda channel and watch through all of their videos for me. It really shouldn't take you that long. There's only like, 10 videos total, and all of them average around a couple of minutes each, so it really shouldn't take you that long to finish all of them. And then once you're done with that, come back to my channel and click on the other link in the description down there and watch my analysis video where I try my best to explain everything. I try my best. Please don't forget that part. Now that you all are brought up to speed, let's go see what the hell that damn dog doing. Now, the first video we got that I want to talk about was uploaded 6 months ago. Wow. Gee willikers. Wow, ripe for the bacon. Am I right? Shit, I thought that shit was uploaded 2 weeks ago. Good grief. Now, the title of the video is What Are You Afraid Of? And this does directly tie into what the video is about. We start off with presumably our main protagonist, Emily, wandering around in the snow at nighttime. As they're walking, they stumble upon a patch of grass and then a tree with a very familiar looking Polaroid picture. You guys actually might remember this from my last video that I made on Dog Nightmares, but this same Polaroid was shown more than once throughout the series prior to this upload. Emily pick up picture. Emily look at picture and go, Now, this might seem insignificant, but I think we can learn a lot just from Emily's body language here. They act like they don't even remember placing this picture on the tree, almost like it's unfamiliar to them, and they approach it with a certain sense of curiosity. Either this implies that they don't remember putting it there, or that someone else did. Even more interestingly, as they pan the camera down, they notice another set of footprints leading up to the tree that are way too small to be human. Could they be paw prints? And no time to think, it's reading, crumpled up paper in front of a black background time, yay! October 9th, 2008.
It's snowing. Bailey likes the snow. I remember going outside and playing in the snow with him. It's been a long day. My mom says it's time I move on, but I can't. I don't want to give up on my best friend.
I'm so sorry. I'm so fucking sorry. I couldn't help myself. Shit. It's just the urges. It just, sometimes it can't be helped. That's what my therapist always tells me. After this message is shown, the footage returns, and Emily is filming what looks to be a childhood picture of her placed within a Christmas tree, much like the other Polaroid that she found outside, which was also placed up against a tree. Suddenly, a knocking sound can be heard, and Emily immediately reacts, almost like it either frightened or startled her. She approaches her sofa, which... Oh God, no, not the pillow. Why the pillow got a flannel on, man? God fucking damn. Ha. Just kidding, that's actually not the only thing that we need to worry about. If you actually look closely here at the doorway, you can see that that dog man in the doorway. What he doing? What he doing there? What's he doing in the doorway? What the dog doing, for real? She pans the camera up, pausing on a painting showing her and her missing dog, Bailey. And I really want to let the rest of this video play out for a second because the delivery is chef's kiss. Have a watch. shit. Guys, I think we might gotta put the dog down. The next video is labeled as a teaser, but honestly, I feel like it's much more than just a teaser, which is why I also wanted to include it in this little update video, because it also contains what I believe to be the second part to the last video that we just discussed. It opens up with a child narrator, presumably young Emily, who says that she wants to tell us a story about how she met her best friend. Oh, now when we say best friend, are we talking about our dog, or are we talking about our creepy youth pastor that woke up one day and decided it was a good idea to play dress up? Several childhood drawings are shown here, many of them being the same ones from the very first episode in the series. Here, young Emily explains that they would go on some amazing adventures together in a boat! Oh, delightful! Emily describes her friend as being very tall and preferring to hide in very dark places. Oh, also, he can be a little shy sometimes. You know, he's just a little silly like that. Don't worry, the dog don't bite. Then, without warning, a growl can be heard, and our young narrator is delighted to introduce her best friend to us.
I'm sure he would love to meet you.
What's the dog doing? Am I right, guys? What the hell is the dog doing? Now, as the title screen appears, once again, that same Polaroid picture appears behind it in the background. It's almost like it's trying to tell us something, guys. But uh-oh, the footage is intercepted. This is what I believe to be the second part to the last video that we just discussed. Another crumpled up piece of paper appears, showing us where Bailey is hiding in the darkened room before us. Emily calls out to Bailey, but ominously receives no response. And then after that, we get a little teaser of our good friend Batty, just giving us some positive affirmations, to be honest.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Good job.
Thanks, man. I really needed that, you know? Now, I really want to focus on the title of this last video here, which to me has some rather ominous implications. The most recent upload on the channel is titled, "Because You Are Like Family to Me," and the description says, "And because I miss you." Now, admittedly, while this does sound like something I do be saying to my cats sometimes, Now, hear me out on this. What if Emily isn't talking to her missing dog at all? I'll let that one fester for a minute. More on that later. The video starts out with another slideshow of childhood pictures. Notice how each person in the pictures has their faces replaced with some type of animal drawing. Again, more on that later. Now, periodically in each picture, we can actually see Bailey lurking in the background. Nothing too unusual. Now, what really does rub me the wrong way is as the pictures continue, the species of the animal faces starts to change. And here we can actually see that Emily's facial expression becomes one of great distress. Now, this picture really make me feel some type of way. It really do, like why he mad and why she's sad, why he pointing up, yelling. Really gotta be thinking thoughts sometimes, to be honest, you know? Hey, look who it is! It's Cousin Tony! Hey, it's Cousin Tony! No, seriously, apart from Bailey's head being upside down, why the fuck is he sitting in the chair like that? Like a fucking person. And then we get a rather out of place recording of Emily going down to the beachy beach having a good old time. Alright, now since my last video on this series, I've actually gotten quite a few comments from you guys explaining what you think is actually going on with this series. And honestly, based on what I'm seeing now, I think that some of you guys might actually be right. Originally, I took this series at face value, assuming that something paranormal was going on and that Emily was genuinely looking for a missing dog. I assumed that maybe the dog man had lured Bailey out to the woods somewhere and then did a little, you know, oh, fuck. However, I no longer think that that's the case. If you guys recall, in the last video we just watched, Bailey was only shown a handful of times, but never in full view of the camera. I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but, you ever notice something off about that guy? Apart from his head being upside down at one point, there's a couple of things I want to point out here. Firstly, the dog does not look like a natural part of the background at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really know how to explain it, but you can clearly see that Bailey is in much higher definition than the rest of the people in the photos. And it just looks really artificial to me, in my opinion. I'm not sure if that was intentional or if the creator was genuinely trying to incorporate Bailey into the story as much as possible, and this is just a direct result of them attempting to edit the dog into the pictures because maybe the dog wasn't there originally. But the reason why I feel like this detail was actually intentional is because why the fuck was Bailey sitting at the dining table like a goddamn person? Another thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way is in the first video that we discussed, in one of Emily's diary entries, she mentions that her mom kept telling her to move on or something to that effect. That sounds like a really harsh thing to say to a kid that just lost their pet. Either that or Emily didn't really lose a pet at all. Maybe the reason why Emily's mom is so quick to, I guess, brush this under the rug is because Emily is really reacting to a traumatic childhood event that serves as a stain on the family. And I suppose she replaced a memory of a missing family member or close friend with a dog for some reason. God, I hope nobody does that to me. I hope if anything happens to me that I'm not just a dog for real to someone. I hope I'm not just someone's dog. Anyways, I've seen some people say how this series could be a metaphor for abuse and possibly neglect, and I'm honestly starting to agree with that more and more. Moreover, as I previously stated, I also think that Bailey might not actually be a dog, but a real person. I know you guys remember that weird Polaroid picture that just keeps showing up at random times throughout the series, and I really don't think that's a coincidence, especially the fact that it was placed on the trunk of a tree earlier, almost like the missing dog posters that we've seen previously throughout the series. It's also the fact too that the Polaroid was, again, placed on the trunk of a tree, much like the childhood picture that was placed within Emily's Christmas tree. It's almost like Emily put that Polaroid picture in the trunk or on the trunk of the tree without even remembering it. And also, I think it's interesting how as she pans the camera down on the ground away from the Polaroid picture on the tree, you can actually see what looks like paw prints leading up to that picture. So maybe that's implying that the dog and the person in the picture are one and the same. Regardless of who the person is in the picture, I truly do believe that they do tie in with Bailey somehow, and I am certain that we will eventually see how in the future. Also, the fact that Bailey was, again, sitting on a chair like a person in one of Emily's childhood photos really does drive the point home to me that this could have just been a person that Emily replaced with a dog in her head. Now, as far as who the dog man is, again, I am still not certain on that. That's a little confusing. The dog man could be a manifestation of the abuse that Emily faced as a child, or a representation of an abusive family member or adult that was a part of her life at some point. The fact that the dog man, and I mentioned this in my last video, but the fact that the dog man likes to hide in the shadows and is, in her own words, very shy, almost sounds like how someone would describe an abusive family member or adult that's trying to do certain things out of view of other adults. In other words, this whole thing sounds dangerously close to, at least in my opinion. As the childhood photos imply, it seems like several family members might have been abusive to her at certain points, so it really could have been any one of them, to be honest. Anyways, don't forget to smash that like button and hit the subscribe with the bell. Thanks for watching this horribly depressing video, and tune in next time where we talk about more things that make us sad.